What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And I know right now, if you are a Saints fan, you are on cloud nine. We just watched our team completely rout another one. We did such a great job today in every facet of the game. Defense, I'm going to be a little bit critical on you in this one. You were the one unit making it to where this game wasn't a complete bulldoze. But either way, we came away with a sound victory, 52-33. If you would have told me this morning that a team without Michael Thomas, without Traquan Smith, without Deontay Harris would go out and put up 52 points, I would literally look you straight in the face and call you an idiot. But we did. This offense played an absolutely amazing game and did everything they needed to do to put up as many points on the board as physically possible. Now, as you guys already know, and I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way quickly, congratulations to Alvin Kamara for becoming he's tied for the most touchdowns in a single game in NFL history. The last person to put up 6 touchdowns did so in 1929. He had 6 touchdowns today, which is the most in a single game in the Super Bowl era. He did a fantastic job. He had an amazing game. And if Sean Payton wanted to, and I'm telling you right now, he is a better man than me, and he is a better man than anybody else that watched that football game. With that final minute and 50 seconds, another touchdown would have been scored for Alvin. He would have broke that record, but for Sean Payton just is too classy for that. I applaud him for that, but it would have been nice to see Alvin Kamara get that 7th touchdown and break that record. Great job to the New Orleans Saints. They played a completely sound game, 52-33 with a rout over the Minnesota Vikings. Payback for the last 2 years. They are no longer able to make the playoffs. Literally eat my ass. I am so happy that we did what we did to them on Christmas Day, and we got to see Alvin Kamara do something that nobody has seen in almost 100 years. An amazing game for this team throughout. Let's go ahead and look at some statistics. So, as you guys know, Alvin Kamara obviously had a fantastic game. And I'm telling you, he had a fantastic game. Alvin had 22 rushing attempts for 155 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. Greatly outperforming who was deemed to be the best running back in the league, Dalvin Cook, who had 15 attempts for 73 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Alvin Kamara also had 3 receptions for 17 yards on the day. Almost had one in the corner of the end zone that would have been a touchdown, but it is what it is. This team still played a fantastic game. Someone who you're going to look at on the stat sheet and be like, dang, he played kind of bad, is Drew Brees. He went 19 for 26 for 311 yards and 2 interceptions with no passing touchdowns. Well, when your running back runs the ball in 6 straight times for touchdowns, you don't really have to worry about throwing them. And one of those interceptions was completely not his fault. The first one with Jared Cook kind of was. It was on both of them. But the second one was literally just a drop by Emmanuel Sanders. So great job for this New Orleans Saints team. I'm ecstatic. The defense didn't play as good as I wanted them to. I would have hoped we held them to a little bit less than 33 points. But with injuries to Marcus Williams, which clearly and obviously matters, we really, and I mean really need to get him back. It is clear that he is a huge cornerstone to this defense. Not having him, Trey Hendrickson, David Onyemata got hurt, Quan Alexander got hurt in the middle of the game, ended up missing the rest of it with an ankle injury. It's very apparent that defense is not 100%, but I'm still happy with how this game transpired, especially with one of the touchdowns coming in garbage time. Amazing. I can't get over how good this game was, but let's keep going over some statistics for the offense. So, Drew Brees wasn't the only one that threw passes. Taysom Hill was actually 2 for 2 with 8 passing yards. Latavius Murray had 12 attempts for 72 yards on the ground. So he had a great game as well. Taysom Hill had 5 attempts for 18 yards and a touchdown that I resent him for, because if Alvin Kamara would have ran that in, he would have had 7 and got the all-time touchdown record in a single game, but whatever. It is what it is. As far as the receiving game goes, Emmanuel Sanders led the team with 4 receptions for 83 yards, an absolute baller game by him. Jared Cook had his best game of the season thus far with 3 receptions for 82 yards. Adam Trotman got going a little bit in this game with with 2 receptions for 45 yards. Marquez Callaway had 3 receptions for 26 yards. And pretty much everybody had a great game on the offensive side of the ball. Will Lutz was 1 for 1 on field goals, which was a 30-yarder at the beginning of the game. He also was 7 for 7 on extra points, which is a good look, especially when he's been struggling in this latter half of the season. Demario Davis had 8 total tackles. Malcolm Jenkins had 7 tackles and a tackle for loss and half a sack. He had a pretty good game, and he had a forced fumble as well. So the only bad play Malcolm Jenkins had was that pass interference that kind of can be thrown up in the air, but it is what it is. He had a great game. Marshawn Lattimore had 6 tackles and a pass defended, or 2 passes defended. Janoris Jenkins has a pass defended as well. David Onyemata had half a sack. He was getting pressure on Kirk Cousins like crazy, and Cameron Jordan got himself a sack as well. The Saints completely dominated the time of possession, which is a complete flip of what happened last week because this offense was going. It looked like having a full week of practice, knowing who your players were going to be, really helped them to put together a game plan that would cause them to succeed greatly. We had 36 minutes with the ball, with the Vikings only having 23 minutes with the ball. We had a completely fantastically balanced game with 583 total yards, 319 passing yards, and 264 rushing yards. We had 36 first downs, only 4 penalties. Those 2 turnovers were a little bit shaky, but if you take those out of the game, there's not a blemish to be seen. Like I said, very, 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 very happy with the play of this team. This gave me hope. It was a little bit hard, sitting here saying we're going to win the Super Bowl after you lose to the Eagles and then narrowly lose to the Chiefs, but routing the Vikings, who were on a really, really, really nice come up, is a huge way to win the optimism of this fan base back, even though a lot of us have been optimistic throughout the entirety of the season. So, great game by the New Orleans Saints. I really like how Drew Brees played. I really liked, of course, how Alvin Kamara was used in this game. That's what happens when you give him more than 12 carries, Sean Payton. Please take notes. You gave him 22 carries, and he had almost 200 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. Do that more often, please. I need to see Alvin with the ball more often. He put himself back in the position for best running back in the league with this performance, and I am ecstatic. Great game plan, great execution, great offense, pretty solid defense, great special teams, and this team right here is terrifying. We put up 52 points with Walmart employees as wide receivers. Juwan Johnson, TikTok superstar. Lil Jordan Humphrey. Austin Carr, who looks like he should be pushing carts in a Walmart parking lot. We put up 52 points with these players. And don't say it was just because the running game. I mean, of course, the running game played a huge part, but we still had 319 passing yards. This is a balanced game. Great job. I'm terrified to see what this team is going to look like when they get Michael Thomas back, the all-time single-season reception leader. Then you get Deontay Harris back to be that spark on special teams. Traquan Smith back. You get Marcus Williams back on defense. Quan Alexander fully healthy. Trey Hendrickson back, who we didn't even have in this game. Good God. When this team gets healthy, there's going to be hell to pay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this win over the Minnesota Vikings. Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a great night. See you in the next one. Adios.